So really quickly for you guys, this is our lineup of products that we're going to be using to actually create our seam. So this here is actually our double-sided tape. We'll lay this down on the liner after we apply a nice amount of primer. And then the cover tape is just a little bit of extra insurance that goes over the top of the whole thing. You want your piece of liner as flat as possible with very little humps. But once he's done with that, we're gonna primer the whole piece that we're gonna be doing, and then we're actually gonna wait for the primer to get kind of tacky and stringy. What we did was we took a little shop rag, just folded it up a couple of times so it fits in the jar, and now he's just going around and putting a nice generous amount of primer everywhere we're gonna be seaming. And then once it's tacky, we're actually gonna take our piece of double-sided tape and we're gonna put it right over the top of the primer, making sure it's nice and clean. And then same thing we did on the bottom piece. We're gonna put a nice generous amount of primer on here. And then we're simply gonna put this piece right over the top of that cover tape and then slowly peel back our tape. So now what we have here is our two pieces of liner pressed together. Now what Drew's doing is cutting off any of the extra liner from this new piece, really making sure that our cover tape is covering that entire seal, and then we're gonna get this thing all nice and primed up for our cover tape. We're gonna let that get nice and tacky again, and then we're actually gonna be using our cover tape. One thing about this is it is a lot wider than the double tape because we wanna cover a much larger surface.